Hello, how's it going? My name is Luis Torres. I've been a TI for about 5 years. Uh, I wanted to talk about stage one. Stage one is when you're actually first introduced or when you're first made aware that you're actually being targeted. It usually starts off with sound. You don't really get the visuals at stage one, and it's not 24/7 in the beginning. In the beginning, they slowly introduce themselves into your life, and you'll think that you'll hear sounds like if other people's talking or talking about you, but it's not really that other people are talking about you. It's just the way that they carry themselves, or the way that V2K or the operators, I'll call them operators, but what I think is a spiritual thing, but most people actually think that it's a technological thing, but from my experience, I've seen that it's something a lot greater than technology. No amount of technology can control the weather or the sun. I'll say the sun when the sun is bright, when the sun is not. There was times when my voices said, pay attention to the sun. We're about to dim it, and the sunlight will be dimmed when they say it. But back to the introduction. That's for another video. You'll be introduced to V2K or gang stalking through what I call subliminal messages. You'll receive subliminal messages from the TV, from people around you, from your family members, friends, that it'll seem like they're talking about you. It'll seem like what a main focus of a problem. And always keep in mind that problem, whatever it is that they're talking about, that means that's why you're on the whole program or whatever this is, because they want to address a problem. That's what they did with me. They wanted to address a problem, and they've addressed it. And in the beginning, it started off so small. Like if it was technology, they said it was the feds. When I first started talking to them, they said it was the feds and that I committed a crime. And that, I was scared of that because I know I've committed plenty of crimes in my time. So I didn't want to go to jail. So I would tell them, no, 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 I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. But as I learned, as I progressed through the levels, from them introducing themselves, they wanted to just get their point across that I did something wrong in order to get into the program. So after a while of me denying, any and every accusation that they can give me, I finally broke down and said, all right, well, listen, I committed these crimes. So, what are we going to go from here? So they said they would lock me up. But as time progressed, I didn't get locked up. So don't ever feel afraid. Don't ever feel afraid. Like if they're going to lock you up, kill you, don't be afraid of that. You give them power. Fear is what controls the mind, and what they want to do is control your mind. They want to control every aspect of your thought process in order to keep you in that first stage. But once you recognize, or once you realize why you've been in the program, you can address them about why you're in the program. So you have to be very aware of what's going on. That's why I say you have to be studying. You have to learn the way communication skills is between one person and another, because that's all this is. The whole program is based on communication and psychological programming for that communication. So when you think that, that you're going to die, or when you think that you're going to go to jail, it gives them a lot more power than you know. I like to call the program the redemption program, because from my experience, I only speak about the things that's going on with me, and hopefully that you can learn from it. But I call it the redemption program because after they sat there and told me that I did all of these vicious criminal acts, I've sat there and said, well, where are we going to go with this? And they said, well, what do you want? And I said, I just want to be forgiven for everything. So then, slowly but surely, one of the voices said, he's being sincere, because they could tell when you're being sincere. They can hear what you hear. They can see what you see. They know what you think. They can make you think. like the whole program is designed to overpower yourself and to isolate you from regular people. And they'll use regular people. They'll mind control regular people. I know it sounds like sci-fi or anything like that, but for the people that's been through it, they know that it's not sci-fi. So I won't even address that because it's like a slap in the face to them. But you'll notice that they'll use a lot of sound waves or a lot of background sounds in order to communicate with you in the beginning. After a while, they'll communicate with you. You'll either advance to gang stalking or V2K, which means voice to skull, which means that you hear voices in your head. And there's different types of ways that you hear voices in your head. There's the thought, the way that you, like, let's say for example, you're reading a book. I'm gonna describe this so that way people who don't have it understand what it is. When you're reading a book in your mind, that voice in your head, that's how they talk to you. But they can use your voice and make it seem like it's you, but you have to be able to know yourself to know what you're thinking and what you would have thought. The whole thing is, how well do you know yourself and how well do you know the people around you? Because they'll use anything and everything to try to separate you from reality. I mean, I managed to get by because of the whole redemption program. I picked a theme. You know, I could have sat there, did music. I could have elevated myself in any way that I wanted to, but I picked religion. And I don't believe in just one religion. I believe in 3 religions, but that's just religion conversation. So I'll keep that out of it. So you have to be able to pick a theme, something that's best for you. If you want to see them as a government, then you got to address them as a government. If you want to see them as spiritual beings, then you got to address them as spiritual beings. You can't flip-flop because the whole concept is to communicate with you. So when they pick one theme, when they notice that you're picking one theme, they'll try to scare you with that theme. Or at least the voices in my head try to, pin me down through the themes that I was thinking, because I thought they were FBI's, I thought they were CIA, because that's what they were telling me. They were telling me that they were CIA, they were telling me that they were FBI, but they won't tell you who they are. That's what you got to understand. No matter what they tell you, they won't tell you who they are, because they're not going to get found out. There's no way that you're going to find these people out. They're too smart and they go through too many precautions in order to keep themselves from being found out. So stage 1 is when they introduce themselves through sounds and places. So it's certain places that'll trigger the sounds. There's certain situations that'll trigger the sounds. And then as they elevate, the sounds will progress from maybe a couple of hours to maybe 12 hours. Then eventually it'll go right into 24/7. You'll either get gang stalked 24/7 here, V2K, or a combination of both, or do weapons. I feel bad for the people who go through do weapons, because that's a lot of pain that they go through. And even gang stalking. Gang stalking is the most uncomfortable thing that you could actually go through. Me dealing with the voices, it's all a mental thing. So all I have to do is just elevate my mental capacity in order to understand what's going on between the conversations from me and them, and try to address what's going on, so that way I can find out the information that I need to find out. The whole thing is to find out the information that you don't have, why you're in this program, why they're doing this to you. And they won't do it right off the bat because they like doing what they're doing. It's not that they like doing it, but they have to do it because they put people through stress in order to elevate them. Now, if you fight against this program, if you fight against these voices, if you fight against gang stalking, it'll kill you. It can kill you. This whole thing can kill you. It'll drive you to suicide. So you have to be a lot stronger mentally, not physically, because physical appearances isn't what makes the person. It's the mind what makes the person. So you have to be a lot stronger. So as they're injecting these sounds into your body or into your mind, you have to separate that and understand it. All right, well, this is part of the program. This is part of the process. They want to communicate with me. I have to pay attention and I have to find out what is it that they're trying to tell me, because they're trying to tell you something. They'll let you know why you're in the program. And you'll get so scared at the fact that, oh my God, I could get in trouble, or oh my God, I could die, or oh my God, my family think like of me like this. No, it's all part of the program. And I've been dealing with targeted individuals for a while after I have managed to beat the system and get myself to a better understanding of who I am and what these voices are trying to do. So you have to study. Nothing comes easy. So if you want some kind of peace in your life, study psychology. Study social psychology, why people do the things that they do, and it'll make you a lot better communicative towards your voices, or communicative towards the gang stalking. And gang stalking, it's all a mental thing. So when people are following you, when people are doing things to you, breaking into your house, it's all what's supposed to happen, because those things would happen even if you weren't part of the program. So it makes it seem like you're being targeted because they want to speak to you. They want to single you out. So you have to be very, very careful as to how you approach the thing. Don't go to anybody and tell them, oh, you're following me. Don't tell them, oh, you're part of the program, because they won't know nothing about it and they'll deny it, just like the voices would deny it. So you have to be very careful about what you do, because you could get yourself in trouble. You could land yourself in jail, because it'll be from electronic harassment or spiritual harassment or whatever this is, and you'll turn it against where you're harassing other people and you're making other people uncomfortable. So keep it within yourself. If you can, try to keep this within yourself. Go to targeted individuals that understand what you're saying, because if you go to a normal person, they won't understand what you're saying. You have to go to like-minded people. You have to go to the flock. Go to the people that understand you the most, which is the targeted individual community, and let the targeted individual community educate other people. Because it's not, you can't force somebody to be educated, because they're part of the system, they're part of the program, they can be manipulated. You can't, for whatever reason. So don't let yourself be manipulated and fall back into the program, or don't let yourself fall back into their ways of thinking or the way that they treat you, because it's all mind control. You have to keep your sanity, and you have to keep your profile the way it was while elevating. It's hard, because you got to keep yourself, you have to find yourself, and you have to keep yourself 100% the way it was. So you're elevating, but you're stagnant. And as you elevate, when you get more smarter, when you get more knowledgeable, when you get more intellectual to this program, you'll understand that these sounds, that the stage one isn't going to affect you, because all it is fear. Stage one is fear. Introduce fear to the person, so that way they can obey anything and everything that we're trying to do. If they can put fear in your heart, if they can put fear in your mind, then they can control you. So don't be afraid. They can't kill you. They cannot kill you. It is against what they're trying to do. They cannot kill you, but you can kill yourself. And that's not their fault, because that just means that you were weak-minded. You can't blame nobody for you not having a strong enough mind in order to make you strong enough for any situation. So they'll throw you into scenarios. And that's what stage one is, to find out where they can put you at. Eventually they'll enter stage two, is when they start communicating with you a lot more, and it becomes a 24/7 thing, and they introduce themselves as an entity, or they'll introduce themselves as a force to be reckoned with. But don't bother so much on trying to find who these people are, because these people are going to be there on your dying bed. These people will be there. I will hear these voices on my dying bed. My last breath, I will still hear these voices. There is no escape from this, unless they want you to be by yourself and away from the program. But in order to do that, you can't beg them. That's something that they do on their own. You have to keep your sanity, because as you're introduced to this, you become so fearful that you don't know what you're doing, that nobody's there to help you, that nobody can back you up, that nobody's there. But you have to understand that we're here for you, and so is God. God sent the community in order to keep you safe and to keep you understood, because you're not alone. So as you're watching this, just know the introduction to stage one is just for them to pin you down. Stage one is just to pin you down.